G'day gang, hello from 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh my goodness. You know what I like to do at 5 o'clock in the morning? Talk about really complicated topics like identity in video games. Cause why not, right? Let's go. Let's do it. Right. So this is a topic that I think we should be talking about more. I think more people should be complaining when it's done poorly, and more people should be talking about when it's done particularly well. Because this is a really, really important, this is a really important, I've lost a word, topic. This is a really important topic. Thank you, dyslexia. This pause brought to you by dyslexia. Right, so I want to talk really about how it's done well and how it's done badly. And I think some of the coolest ways that you can deal with identity in a video game is at character creation. I think some of the best options are when you can decide how your character looks, and in some options you have like posture and poses, you have height and stuff like that, and it's all very aesthetic and skin deep, but it still paints a picture. And I think that the way in which that we can create an identity for ourselves in video game is an unprecedented extent. You can't really do that in any other medium. Oh my gosh, I would like to stop coughing, thank you. But I don't think you can do it to the same extent in any other medium. Tabletop, I think you can create more unique identities and more far-reaching identities, but the way in which that you interact with the world is much more limited because you only have the people around the table and the DM, who is every single dungeon, who is every single character, or GM if you're not playing, as I am not playing. Sorry, Dungeons and Dragons. You off topic, tangent, very tired, focus, gotcha. I think the coolest thing that you can do in video games is to have the most expressive identity you possibly can. You can explore that identity through the lines in dialogue. You can explore through the ways in which that you interact with not only characters but the world. You can choose to be the kind of person that would pet the sheep instead of killing it. You can choose to try and go down this list of ways in which that you can interact with things and stuff and the world like you can in a Larian game. And you can choose to be identified as the things in which that you do and the powers in which that you have. And I think one of the coolest expressions of that, in my experience, is divinity. In the way in which that you can use your powers. So Divinity is one of the coolest franchises, in my opinion, because of the interactions that you have with your other NPC, your other PC, or your other characters. And you can go from doing you can go from covering the floor in water to then electrifying it with air, and the interactions that you have with that are really awesome, and you can make that like part of your character's identity and being like, oh, I'm a hydro mage, or I'm a physical character, and the way that you don't get locked down to a class in the same way that you do in Dungeons and Dragons, because you can still have a personality and be a human outside of that and make choices based on other things and still have that same interaction and identity. So I think Larian has a really, really cool way of integrating mechanics into how you can redefine your character and identity. Oh, ow. But I think video games is unprecedented in the way in which that you can identify for all of those reasons and more. This one, I particularly want comments. I keep saying it, but I'm genuinely not comment baiting. I want to have a dialogue. I want people to tell me what they like about the ways in which that they can identify in video games. Ways that you can question your own identity and make questions for stuff. And I keep going back to my favorites, but one of my favorite things to do is to work out who I'm playing in this game, and being able to play someone that isn't yourself, such as Geralt in The Witcher, was really awesome for me, because I'm not a dude. I'm not a witcher. I'm not in this incredibly complicated, like, dangerous and deadly setting that is inherently toxic to me and is inherently ridden with conflict because of who I am. I don't have any of those things in real life. So being able to portray that and immersed in a setting in which that is portraying that is awesome, because it's something that I never get to experience. And I also get to stand in front of an NPC and say, what would Geralt do here? Because some of those things are very complicated and in answers, and I can see these two options and I'm going, one is really good, but two is also really good. And that's why I think it gets to be so much more expansive in a Larian game, where you get to have these options. Like in Baldur's Gate, you're sitting there with someone else and you're saying no, because if we say one, then we can go and do this potentially, because if we're friends with these people, they might have more things to trade with us, or they might have more options, and they might do this or that. And you're sitting there and you're immediately trying to work out how you want to interact and solve this situation, and how you as a group want to identify, and how you want to define your interactions with this group. Those sorts of things you really don't get to do otherwise, especially in such extreme, fantastic, weird, alien settings. So I think the way that you want to identify yourself in real life, you can first test in make-believe. You can try on those pants to see if they fit in video games. And I think a huge, massive part of my identity was formed in questioning my identity when I was playing through numerous different types of games. And I don't think I'm alone in that. I think if we all reach deep down and actually question who we are as people and reference it in how we interact with things in video games, a lot of gamers can actually say that the way in which that we identify was largely or in part formed or influenced by the things that we experienced in video games, because that is who we are. Humans are sponges. We just take in the world around us and decide what parts we want to keep. That is what makes art and entertainment so influential and awesome, and that is what makes us so changing and so redefining in identity, and also so collaborative. I think that humans are so awesome in the way in which that we share our identities and we define each other and we define ourselves, and it is never ever more apparent than what we do in our fantasies and our make-believe in the world in which that we want to see, or a world that we are terrified that we're falling into. So identity in video games, I think, is one of the most important topics to me, because not only of how it has impacted me, but because of how we can impact each other and how we can try on options. Because I don't think that any person is ever going to be complete. I think we are like works of art in the making, eternally being made. And I think that defining ourselves based on what we want to pretend to be in a video game is particularly powerful. I really genuinely think that. And I think there are so many good examples of this done well. And I keep making these videos with the intent to run down a bunch of, like, I have so many specific examples, but I keep getting stuck on the philosophy of it because it's just so exciting and tantalizing that I can't get over how wonderful this is. And as previously stipulated, it is 5 o'clock in the morning, and there is nothing for a creative mind like fatigue. It's kind of like there is this trick that writers have where you wake up in the morning and immediately get started in writing because that critical part of your brain is too fatigued to catch up. So your mind kind of goes wild and you get these incredible and extraordinary things that you wouldn't usually get, which isn't very helpful for YouTube videos when I want to be structured, but you work with what you have. And if you only have 5 o'clock in the morning to make YouTube videos, I'm sorry, audience, but that's what you get. Do you guys love this topic? Do you guys love thinking about identity, or is it actually a topic of particular anxiety and discomfort? I'm really interested to see what people think. I keep saying it, but I'm not comment baiting. I want to know what you guys think. I read all of your comments. I think about all of your comments. And sometimes I'm still sitting there, like days later, thinking, I really liked what that person said. Someone commented on my horror video, and the comment, I don't want to like say your names all the time because I feel like that's weird, but thinking about the way in which that horror is given is really interesting. Someone said that they find that in a book it's particularly more easy to understand, and I just thought about that, like been thinking about that quite a bit, because I think that in video games it is the hardest to use horror, because you only need one little glitch and you're supposed to see like the little side of this monster, but instead you see the monster T-posing. Instead of spying at you through a doorway, you see them like T-posing in the distance and you're like, okay. So video games, it's the hardest to get a real horror feeling because of how much can go wrong, and I think it's second hardest in movies. But I think my commenter was right. I think it is easiest to do it in books because you have full control and you have full immersion, because you have to put so much of your attention onto it. I really love your comments. Your comments stay with me, and I'm thinking about it a lot, and I make new videos based on the comments that you leave. I really want you guys to comment, please, genuinely and sincerely. I'm not baiting. I want to read every single comment, and I do. And I want to reply to the ones that I have something to give back to you guys. It means the world. And even if I don't reply, I'm still thinking about ways in which to make videos based on the things that you guys say. If you want me on the platform, please subscribe to my channel. It means the world. Please share it with people. I want to be talking to other people. I just don't want to be talking at a monitor. I want more conversation coming back, and your comments are amazing. React if you want. I'm about it. I just want to hear what people think, and I want to be able to have a conversation back and forth, and it means the world to be able to do that. Thank you all for watching, truly and sincerely. Thank you even more for commenting and liking and subbing, all of those things. I hate asking for it, but it's why I'm here. I want the interaction part of the platform. It means the world. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I've got some exciting things coming up, hopefully. We'll see if you guys like it. I'll see you later. Thanks again. Bye.